This here is a 1947 Knucklehead FL number 6007. This is a roughly mid-production 47. I say roughly because the exact number to the exact count is unknown. They made approximately 11,900 and change 47 Knuckleheads. The Knucklehead 47 production year was actually continued, as we have discovered, through the early part of 48. We can't say for certain exactly when production stopped because I don't have the very last production invoice, obviously. So, but certainly certain the first few months of 1948 they used the back order of orders to fill them, for lack of a better term at the moment. In other words, the dealers had placed orders, Harley hadn't built them for lack of materials, and we accepted your order, and guess what? You're getting your bike, you better pay us money. As I've shown you, there was continual back order of various supplies. That would explain why there's such a dearth of lack of correct mufflers on the 46s and 47s, and various other missing pieces that people have corrected once they've found a motorcycle. I highly suspect the headlight and spot lamps were new old stock on this bike when it was first discovered, as the man obviously had a lot of NOS parts from something else. And the muffler is obviously incorrect, and it was that way its whole life. So therefore, if it's incorrect and Harley doesn't have it, what exactly is correct? If you look at it that way. So this is an original paint bike. It's extremely clean. I'm sure there's better out there, but it's a very nice one. This one is for sale, along with all my other Knuckleheads. Unless we get some magic guy that says, you know what, we got to preserve all this, so because of the amount of information that can be disseminated to the world, and I do know how to make money off of it if we get Magic Man in, or people. That's what the crowdfunding is about. So that maybe the group itself will step up to the plate and go, you know what, we've got to preserve what you're doing for everybody. I assure you Todd will survive, and Todd sells all his Knuckleheads. That's no problem. But I won't be able to share this with everybody. That is the problem. I don't get paid for sharing this with everybody. This is free. This is because I love the motorcycles. That's all it's ever been about. I certainly don't have to sit here, waste half my day making cool videos for everybody else to look at. But this is as found. All I did was ride it out at Wasion after I got it, and I rode it a couple times since then, and it needs some maintenance, and I have too many other projects, so it's just sitting here looking pretty. We've done the initial processes of the Picard on the seat and the bags. I've opened the bags. As you can see, they have no cracks anywhere because I took the time to carefully Picard the outside, but I haven't done the inside yet. I haven't taken these straps off yet. I didn't want to break them. So that was a year process just to get to this part. So it does run very well, but it does need a little bit of work. The carb should be rebuilt. The wheel bearings, who knows when they were done last. The front end is stupid ass stiff on the cups. That's called lack of that cup grease, lack of maintenance. It's a very, very nice original paint bike. And every time I look at any of these bikes, I get a tingly just from looking at them. And so I'm very happy and thrilled that I can share them with everybody. I hope everybody actually appreciates that. This is as found. All I did was put the license plate on and title it. And of course, these little doodahs. And I got it with the buddy seat here in a bag with the Chevron Dash 47 seat on the bike, and these holes were here, but there was no jewels, so I put the jewels on. And the only maintenance I've done is rebuild the gas caps here. Those are original caps. They are rebuilt. As far as by rebuilding, I mean cleaning them, getting rid of the old gas inside them, and through the Rusty Co, running through the Gibbs, so they're nice and pretty inside, and all happy and will breathe right, and you can ride a motorcycle. So there's no gas in it, there's no battery in it. I spent most of today just wiping it down to get rid of all the dust from Emerson and his dust problem, and he wants to puke all over me and everybody else around here. I think it's a good thing because he's a moral, upstanding citizen, that guy. So, besides the bike, what I wanted to talk to everybody about is the 1947 Knucklehead. Now, it's important to understand, we had just come out of World War II, no civilian production of anything without having a special permit, we'll call it. You had to have a tag allowing you to buy anything, gas, food, tires, shoes. It was permitted or you couldn't get it. But that doesn't mean there wasn't any civilian production per se, because obviously people always have a way of finagling your paperwork when they had it in and going, yeah, I got a permit, get one for me, and taking it on the back side. So there was civilian production in that sense of the term. So it just wasn't down at the dealer, I'll just go pick one out. That didn't happen during the war. No, it didn't. As we've shown you, after the war, we were essentially fought to a standstill. Truman had people calculate how many men, how many troops, how many guns, how many ships, how many tanks, how many planes it took to do each island. So they knew how many guys and how many materials they had to expend to continue island hopping to finally take Japan down. We were at war, it was death or die. And they calculated what they had and what they needed and discovered they didn't have it. So they dropped the bomb. Japan says, whatever. Dropped another one. Japan says, well, I don't know how many more they got. I guess we're done. If it wasn't for that, we'd have fought to a standstill. We'd have said, they're over here, we're over here, like North and South Korea. Because we were done. We were out of stuff. And so were they. So the war's over. People can go back to buying stuff, except there's no more stuff. We're out of stuff. So they had a big, huge supply problem. And as we showed you, which was common knowledge back then, I assure you, but people, as they use this stuff, every 5 years there's a whole new crop of guys, a new amount of stuff. New guys are in, the old guys are out, they got married, the bikes get put away, and then they get old and they get forgotten about. Very few people are in this for a very long term of decades. Very, very few. And ones that are, when it's new, usually don't record like we would an antique bike, what's going on the floor on a brand new stuff. It's called, it's new, there it is, give me money. You want it? Next. You want it? There it is, give me money. They're not going over any new machine, fine-tooth nut and bolt, even at the factory where they build it, recording everything. It's called get it out and sell it. That's production today, that was production then. And these are hand-built motorcycles back then, by hand. And the same guy did not build every single motorcycle, or paint every part, or in any way, shape, or form at all. And Harley Davidson had suppliers. These are from Guide. These are from Eaton. You follow me? Harley Davidson bought their stuff, just like today, from other manufacturers. And they had supply issues. There's a lot of 47s I've seen that are nice original paint bikes that had a Dietz headlight. There's a brand new 46 and 47 at the factory in the museum. Took off the line. I've seen the photos. They don't have Eaton gas caps. They do not have Eaton gas caps. They don't have the cover here, and it doesn't have the cover over here. Why would they do that? Because you're going to leave off the stuff that you don't have to have when you don't have enough metal to manufacture stuff. I've shown you invoices. Here's your bike, no primary chain, it don't run too bad, at least you got something to look at. Give me your money. That's how bad it was. But here's the reality of the 1947 Knucklehead. When the Knuckleheads came out, they were an experiment. A failed experiment. They were junk. The 36s were horrible. They were junk. And they tried to correct it 3 times during the year, and they were still bad. They kind of sort of corrected it in 37, By 38, they finally had a sort of good machine. And they still started correcting them. Well, according to the photos that I have out of enthusiast magazines, I haven't found any earlier Kelsey Haynes 16-inch rims in a photo, and Harley Davidson's own enthusiast on bikes than 36. So I don't have any documentation other than a photo of exactly when Kelsey Haynes started offering on the aftermarket their 16-inch rims. But it was cool, it was popular. Harley Davidson, as usual, said, whoa, hey, whoa, they like that stuff, build it. And what they created was a handling problem. So as I showed you, we got 3, so far that I know of, 1940 frames. And as I showed you on the invoices, 1940 offers, even though it shows you in the catalog a 16-inch wheel, it's an option. You got to pay me extra money if you want it. It wasn't standard. But it was so cool, it was so bitchin' and so wow, everybody had to have them. So most of them went with the 16s, but it was a handling problem, which they didn't straighten out, this handling problem, until 1947 model year when they introduced the bull neck frame. You go, wait a minute, bull neck frame? We got 46s with bull neck frame. What are you talking about, you idiot? I showed you on the invoices. Pay attention, I showed you on the invoices. The 46 bull neck frames are actually 47 production motorcycles that they were building as a 46 because they'd already accepted the orders. So your bull neck frame and your offset springer is actually a 47 chassis built to fulfill a 46 order they'd already accepted. So you got your 46 tanks and dash, your 46 rear fender, because they're building that body style for the guy who ordered it for his 46 with 46 numbers, but it was built in the 47 year. And your late 47s, this is a mid-year frame. Your late 47s has a UU casting right here. They ran out of frames, but they're not reissuing the motorcycle in 48 because they're making panheads. So they remade frames to fulfill the last order and fulfill what happened. That's the only reason why that frame would have possibly been done, because that's the only difference, is that casting neck. And the last ones are definitely made in the 48 production year, which I showed you on the invoices. Absolute stone dead fact. Unarguable. The invoice was not lying. So, what we have is this. It's a 47. Guess what? We have corrected the handling problem by offsetting the neck. Finally, Harley figured it out. Notice Hydroglides have an offset, okay? They still use it today. They finally corrected their handling problem with the 16-inch tires. Finally. They changed the frame, the brake, they changed the trail angle of the fork, finally corrected the handling problem. So they finally handle good. And you're going, well, my 46 and my 47 and my 40 kind of handle the same. Well, dude, they're antique bikes. You're not riding it like a brand new bike off the showroom floor, slam, slam, slam through the gears, racing the thing like these kids did back then. And every little minor improvement at the time made a huge difference. The 47 heads are different. Your 47 oil pump is different. Guess what? Your 48 oil pump is also different. They look the same, but they're different. This was a much better running, much better handling bike than anything previously. So this is the ultimate in a knucklehead is your 47. It's the top of the line. It's not the rarest. They made 11,900, 3 different models of 47 knuckleheads. Similar, but different. 11,900. Highest production of all the knuckleheads for a reason. For a reason. You know why the reason was? Because this bike worked. This bike finally worked. That's why. It wasn't just because, well, we can buy stuff. Well, how come they didn't rush over and buy all the 46s? It wasn't just because they had a production problem. They would have made the orders. Would have made the orders. This bike worked. It worked so good, they only sold about 1,247 Chiefs, and they didn't even have a 48 Chief production. That's how good this bike and the 48 Panhead worked. That's how good it worked. These things blew Indian away. Wasn't even a competition. That's how good this bike is. This is the top of the line. And I'm not saying that because this bike's for sale. That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. We're discussing the quality of the motorcycle at the time when it was new. The 47 Knucklehead was the ultimate in the production line last year of your Knucklehead. Just like the 65 Panhead had all the improvements all the years of all the Panheads. It was the best Panhead. Just like your 84 Shovelhead had all the improvements of all the stuff that they had refined, was your best Shovelhead. Just like your 99 Evo had all the improvements of all the years of the Evo, they got rid of all the crap, and is your best Evo. Same concept. The last of the production run, at least in the Harley world, so far, has always been the best. So far. They're 36. Whoa, 36. What's he talking about? How about the VLH? How about the 80 cubic inch VLH with an optional 4-speed? The top of the best. It was always the best. How about your 29? The twin cam. Top of the best. There you have it. This is the ultimate machine that Harley Davidson made in the Knucklehead line. The best of the best. Everything that they found out about, everything they incorporated into actual production is in this machine. After that, Panhead it is, and Panheads blew these bikes away. Faster, better, all around. Whoa, 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 whoa. We don't want Knuckleheads, give us a Panheads. The dealers who had ordered these bikes and had to take them once the Panheads come out, because they already placed the order, they got stuck with them. There was NOS Knuckleheads in the crate in the 70s. They got stuck with them. Nobody wanted them. It's just a bike. Today they're, wow, they're cool, they're bitching, they're this or that. They were unloved, unliked, who cares, just an old piece of shit for 30 years. That's a dead stone fact. That's why most of your stock Knuckleheads are not around anymore, because they all got chopped by 20-year-old kids. Because they were cheap. Running Knucklehead for a long time was $5. There it is. So that's keeping it on the wheel with everybody. Here's this beautiful bike. Certainly the nicest 47 Knucklehead that I've owned, and I've owned some pretty nice ones, not just the ones I got right now. And I love it. So they're all for sale. Every one of my Knuckleheads is for sale, unless somehow we pull a rabbit out of our hat and save the channel. By saving the channel means the channel, well, I just upload videos. What are you talking about saving the channel? What are you talking about? Saving the channel means somehow, some way, I, you, the group, the magic mystery man over here, winning the Powerball ticket over here, doesn't matter where it comes from, somehow enough money comes around where we can, as a group, take and create our own internet TV channel, okay, that I have a way to monetize said TV channel that can actually make money, because it costs money to have a professional production, to have crew in here instead of me just talking to a camera. You know, crew, sound, lights, whoa, it's a professional production. That costs money. It ain't free, it ain't cheap. You know, you gotta pay the rent, you gotta pay the lights, you gotta put food on the table, you know, gotta feed the children. So, unless magic happens, all these bikes are gonna go bye-bye, because I gotta pay my bills too. If magic happens, I get to sit here and talk in front of the camera and share all this cool stuff and all this information I've been finding out with you guys out in the world. Now there's a lot of you guys that are watching my channel to laugh and poke fun and hate, or just to have free information so you can go buy and sell your own stuff. Okay, free information. Well, it costs me time and money to give you free information. If you want to continue having free information I've spent time and money to research, the channel has to survive in a way where I can do that. And I am out of work. I am out of money. So all this stuff is for sale. If it goes, it's going. If the magic money happens, new day, new day. New day is dawn. We're in. It's happy. And I can continue to explore and discover and share those discoveries with you guys out there in the world. And here's the catch. Nobody else is doing this, and nobody else will. So we discover a way to keep that alive, which takes money, don't happen for free, or I won't be able to do it anymore. So I buy a bike, here's a bike, that's why I know of it, see ya. Here's a bike, that's why I know of it, see ya. And that's where it'll be. See you guys in the next video. Have a good one.